Hey guys, Bob for Bob's Movie Review here, and today I want to bring you a review of Hot Tub Time Machine 2, Hotter, Wetter, Unrated Cut. This movie is rated R or unrated, depending on which version you watch. 93 minutes for the R-rated and 99 minutes for the unrated. This is a comedy movie starring Rob Corddry, Craig Robinson, Clark Duke, Adam Scott, Gillian Jacobs, Chevy Chase with one tiny scene. He's not even in multiple scenes. So, obviously, the sequel to Hot Tub Time Machine. This one, without John Cusack. He has a tiny part, and they hint at it at the beginning that like he's going to be at the end. And they show his picture at one point. Now, I know I saw in the trailers that they were supposed to travel all through time, which is super misleading, and I don't understand why they would even show that in the trailer. So basically, they're all rich and famous. For some reason, Clark Duke is Rob Corddry's butler. Like, even though he's a son, like he doesn't like his son, he doesn't respect him, and he basically makes him his butler. Lou is still super rich. I think they say he's worth like $3 billion or something, but like his stuff is kind of failing. Like Lugal's going downhill in like Web Crawler or Lycos or something. They're like beating him, and his marriage isn't probably going that good, and he's just doing drugs and drinking all the time. And Craig Robinson is like stealing every song ever made. And then I don't know, it's stupid. And then the other guy, what's his name? Adam Scott, who plays Adam Jr. He's John Cusack's son. So, not in real life, in the movie, obviously. So they, they're having a party, and somebody comes and shoots Rob Corddry in the dick, which was like this whole thing. Pretty sure it was from the first movie. I'm like, when I heard that, I was trying to remember exactly what movie it was from. It's got to have been from the first one. He kept saying it at the beginning of this one too. You know, shotgun to the dick, shotgun to the dick. You know, so the guy shoots him in the dick, and so they are like, "Oh no, he's gonna die." And I guess he actually stole the hot tub from the ski lodge, and it's like hidden in his house. And Clark Duke knows where it is, so him and Craig Robinson put him in it. And he's got like this nitrium or whatever it was called. Supposedly he made the thing work. He's got like a supply of it. And they put it in there. And they're like, oh, we gotta get blackout drunk. You know? So they start drinking, and like all this really weird stuff happens. Like at one point, they're all like this with guns. I'm like, where did they get 6 guns while they were sitting in a hot tub? And like at one point, I'm guessing maybe that was a hallucination. There's like other hallucinations, like where a teddy bear stabs one of them. I don't know, just random stupidness. And so they get out of the hot tub, and they're like, "What time? What year is it? Or you know, when did we travel to?" Did they not set a time? Like it just goes randomly? How do they think they would go just before he got killed to save him? Or I don't get exactly what they were thinking there. So they get out, and it's like all weird. Ends up there in the year 2025, so they travel 10 years into the future. And there they run into all sorts of hijinks. They stole a lot of stuff from Back to the Future. Back to the Future 2, actually. And, okay, so they stole a lot of stuff from Back to the Future 2. And I don't know if they were also stealing stuff from Looper. I mean, they mentioned at one time, I don't know if it's just because it was Lou and a time travel movie or what, but there was some stuff in this movie that I didn't really understand. And maybe it was because it was supposed to be taken from Looper. They're like, well, we went to the future, which is actually the past. I don't know. Didn't make any sense to me. So they get there, and the stuff is no longer there, so they can't travel back. So they gotta try to find the killer, because they're like, well, the killer's in the future. Okay, so they end up meeting Adam Jr., who is John Cusack's son, and he's like totally weird. And you know, he's like at least in his 30s, and it's only 10 years in the future, so how did he become so weird? You know what I mean? It's not like he wasn't born yet in our time where he was like 5 years old. You know, he was already an adult. So how did he become so weird in only 10 years? I don't know if they really thought that part out real well. So they're just kind of looking, trying to figure out who the killer is. Somehow, Clark Duke is an old man in only 10 years. I mean, I guess he's doing a lot of drugs, but he's, like, bald, and he looks quite a bit older. And for some reason, he has Rob Corddry's house, and I guess they don't really explain what happened to Rob Corddry, really. You know, and all their lives have kind of fallen apart already in 10 years. And so that basically alludes to the ending where they have to fix everything, you know, kind of cliched and boring. And so this movie's supposed to be a comedy. I just didn't think it was funny. I mean, like I said, they stole so much stuff from Back to the Future. It wasn't funny. The story wasn't interesting. And then at the very end, like just before the credits, when the movie's basically over, then they start time traveling, like through all the different times. Like Rob Corddry comes out, you know, like not civil. I was gonna say Civil War, like French-American War or whatever. You know, like 1700s, and he's like, "Oh, come on, we gotta create the United States," and then they gotta save Abe Lincoln, and it's just all these quick scenes, and they're not funny. And I know I saw a trailer where that's like the whole thing was just those scenes, and I'm like, well, why do they want to trick you into thinking this movie was about traveling through all kinds of time, when really in the whole movie they just go in the future to 2025, and then they come back at the end of 2015. I don't know. So. For score on this, guys, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, and I feel like that's pretty generous. I had a couple scenes that were kind of funny, but for the most part, it's just very passable. Don't really recommend you guys buy this. Maybe a rental. A lot of people bash this movie, and now I see they are right to do so. So, what did you guys think of this if you saw it? If not, did you guys plan on watching it? But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys next time. If you're interested, be sure to subscribe on YouTube, follow on Facebook, follow on Twitter, and follow on Instagram.